There are celebrities. There are television stars. There are billionaires. And then there is Oprah Winfrey. For more than 4 decades, Oprah has been one of the most influential women on earth. She transformed daytime television, built a media empire, became one of the world's wealthiest self-made women, and inspired millions through her story of resilience, determination, and success. From a difficult childhood in rural Mississippi to becoming a global media icon, Oprah's journey has been nothing short of remarkable. But where is Oprah Winfrey in 2026? What is she doing today? How much is she worth? What happened to the legendary talk show queen after stepping away from daily television? And what legacy will she leave behind? Today, on Continent Informer, we're taking a deep dive into the life, career, business empire, philanthropy, and current activities of one of the most influential figures in modern history, Oprah Winfrey. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Continent Informer, like this video, and share it with friends who enjoy inspiring biographies and celebrity documentaries. Now let's begin. Oprah Gail Winfrey was born on January 29, 1954, in the rural town of Kosciuszko. Her beginnings were far removed from the luxury and success that would later define her public image. She was born into poverty. Her mother struggled financially. Her family faced enormous challenges. As a child, Oprah experienced hardships that could have easily derailed her future. Yet even during those difficult years, there were signs of extraordinary potential. She developed a love for reading at a very young age. Books became an escape. Words became a source of power. Education became her pathway toward a different future. Few could have imagined that this young girl from rural Mississippi would one day become one of the most recognized women in the world. One of Oprah's greatest gifts was evident long before she became famous. She could communicate. She could connect. She could tell stories. She could make people feel heard. As a teenager, she excelled in public speaking competitions and quickly gained attention for her confidence and talent. Teachers recognized her abilities. Community leaders noticed her charisma. Radio stations became interested in her broadcasting skills. Before long, Oprah found herself working in media while still remarkably young. It was the beginning of a journey that would change television forever. During the 1970s, Oprah entered the world of television news. At a time when broadcasting was dominated by men, opportunities for young African American women were limited. Yet Oprah persisted. She worked hard. She learned quickly. And she continually improved her skills. Although traditional news broadcasting wasn't always the perfect fit for her personality, it provided invaluable experience. She learned how television worked. She learned how audiences responded. Most importantly, she learned the power of authentic communication. Those lessons would later become the foundation of her success. Everything changed when Oprah began hosting a local talk show. Unlike many television personalities of the era, Oprah wasn't focused on appearing distant or untouchable. She connected emotionally with guests. She listened carefully. She showed empathy. Audiences immediately responded. Ratings increased dramatically. Viewers felt like they knew her personally. What started as a local opportunity soon became something much larger. Television executives recognized they were witnessing a rare talent. The next chapter would transform Oprah from a regional broadcaster into a national phenomenon. In 1986, The Oprah Winfrey Show launched nationally. It would become one of the most successful television programs in history. The show changed daytime television. Oprah discussed topics many programs avoided. She interviewed celebrities. She spoke with everyday people. She explored personal struggles, relationships, health, education, and self-improvement. Millions of viewers tuned in. Then millions more. Soon, Oprah became a household name. Her influence grew beyond entertainment. She became a trusted voice for audiences around the world. For many viewers, watching Oprah became part of their daily routine. As the years passed, Oprah's influence expanded dramatically. A recommendation from Oprah could turn an unknown author into a bestseller overnight. A product featured on her show could sell out instantly. A guest appearance could transform a person's life. This phenomenon became known as the Oprah effect. Businesses wanted her endorsement. Publishers wanted her support. Politicians sought her attention. Celebrities hoped for an invitation to her couch. Very few media personalities in history have wielded comparable cultural influence. Oprah became more than a television host. She became a brand. She became an institution. While audiences saw Oprah on television, she was quietly building something much larger behind the scenes. She established production companies. She negotiated ownership stakes. She made strategic investments. Unlike many entertainers who relied solely on performance income, Oprah focused on controlling her content and business interests. This approach proved transformative. Over time, she built one of the most successful media empires in the world. Her business decisions helped make her one of the wealthiest women in entertainment history. She demonstrated that media influence and business ownership could work together to create extraordinary success. Television was not Oprah's only achievement. She also enjoyed success in film. One of her most memorable performances came in The Color Purple. The film introduced her acting talents to a global audience. Over the years, she appeared in additional films, voiced animated characters, and served as a producer on numerous projects. Her Hollywood accomplishments further expanded her influence. Few entertainers have successfully balanced television, film, publishing, philanthropy, and entrepreneurship at such a high level. Oprah became one of the rare individuals whose name alone carried enormous credibility across multiple industries. As her wealth grew, Oprah increasingly focused on philanthropy. Education became one of her primary priorities. She funded scholarships. She supported schools. She invested in programs designed to help young people achieve their potential. Her charitable efforts extended beyond the United States. She supported educational initiatives internationally and frequently emphasized the importance of empowering future generations. For Oprah, success was not simply about accumulating wealth. It was also about creating opportunities for others. That philosophy became a defining element of her public image. By 2026, Oprah Winfrey remains one of the most influential figures in media and philanthropy. Although she no longer hosts a daily talk show, she continues to participate in major interviews, special television projects, production ventures, and charitable initiatives. She remains closely associated with Harpo Productions and continues to influence media through producing, investing, and mentoring emerging talent. Her book recommendations still attract significant attention. Her interviews remain highly anticipated. And her voice continues to carry extraordinary influence across entertainment, culture, and public life. At more than 70 years old, Oprah has largely shifted her focus toward legacy building, philanthropy, strategic media projects, and personal well-being. Far from disappearing, she has transitioned into a role that many influential figures eventually seek: elder stateswoman, mentor, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. Behind every influential person stands a network of trusted friends, advisors, and confidants. For Oprah Winfrey, friendship has always been one of the most important pillars of her personal and professional life. Despite decades of fame, wealth, and global recognition, Oprah has often spoken about the importance of surrounding herself with people she trusts. One of the most famous friendships in modern entertainment history is Oprah's relationship with Gayle King. The two women first met in the 1970s while working in broadcasting. Neither could have predicted that their friendship would become one of the most enduring relationships in the entertainment industry. Through career successes, personal struggles, public criticism, and global fame, Gayle remained one of Oprah's closest friends. Fans frequently described their bond as an example of loyalty rarely seen in celebrity culture. Over the decades, Oprah and Gayle appeared together in interviews, magazine features, television specials, and public events. Their friendship became so famous that many people viewed them as inseparable. For Oprah, having trusted friends provided stability in a life often surrounded by public attention and intense scrutiny. One of the most frequently discussed aspects of Oprah's personal life has been her decades-long relationship with Stedman Graham. The couple first met in the mid-1980s. At the time, Oprah's career was beginning its meteoric rise. Many observers assumed they would eventually marry. In fact, the couple became engaged during the 1990s. Yet the wedding never happened. For years, media outlets speculated about the reasons. Oprah later explained that both she and Stedman valued their independence and believed marriage was not necessary to validate their commitment. Their relationship became unusual by Hollywood standards. While many celebrity romances ended quickly, Oprah and Stedman remained together for decades. Their partnership demonstrated that relationships can take different forms and still succeed. As Oprah's influence grew internationally, Stedman largely stayed out of the spotlight. Rather than competing for attention, he focused on his own career as an author, educator, and businessman. By 2026, their relationship remains one of the longest-lasting partnerships in entertainment history. After dominating daytime television for 25 years, Oprah faced a major question. What comes next? Many people would have retired. Others would have continued doing the same thing. Oprah chose something far more ambitious. In 2011, she launched the Oprah Winfrey Network, commonly known as OWN. The network represented one of the biggest risks of her career. Starting a television network is enormously expensive. Success is never guaranteed. The early years proved challenging. Ratings fluctuated. Critics questioned the network's future. Some media analysts wondered whether Oprah had made a mistake. Yet she remained committed. Gradually, OWN found its audience. Programs resonated with viewers. Strategic partnerships strengthened the network. By the mid-2020s, OWN had become an established media brand and a significant component of Oprah's business empire. The launch demonstrated something Oprah had shown throughout her career. She was willing to take risks when she believed in a vision. Few stories in modern business are as remarkable as Oprah's financial journey. Born into poverty, she eventually became one of the world's wealthiest self-made women. Her success did not come from a single paycheck. It came from ownership. Throughout her career, Oprah consistently negotiated for control. She owned production rights. She built companies. She invested strategically. She created intellectual property. This approach allowed her wealth to grow far beyond what traditional television salaries could provide. By the 2020s, Oprah's net worth was widely estimated in the billions of dollars. Her wealth came from television production, media ownership, publishing ventures, real estate, investments, brand partnerships. Business schools frequently study Oprah's career as an example of how personal branding can evolve into a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. For decades, Oprah's interview chair became one of the most influential seats in media. Politicians sat there. Actors sat there. Athletes sat there. World leaders sat there. And when Oprah asked questions, audiences listened. Among her most impactful interviews were conversations involving major public figures, entertainment icons, and individuals sharing deeply personal stories. What separated Oprah from many interviewers was her ability to create emotional connection. Guests often revealed things they had never discussed publicly. Some interviews changed public opinion. Others sparked national conversations. Many became defining moments in television history. The influence of these conversations extended far beyond ratings. They helped shape culture itself. As Oprah's influence expanded, politicians increasingly sought her support. While she generally focused on media and philanthropy rather than direct political involvement, her endorsements carried significant weight. Political analysts frequently debated the impact of Oprah's public support for candidates and causes. Because millions trusted her judgment, her opinions often received enormous attention. For years, there were even rumors that Oprah might run for public office herself. Although she repeatedly dismissed those ideas, the speculation reflected the extraordinary level of influence she had achieved. Very few entertainers have ever possessed the cultural authority to inspire serious discussions about a presidential campaign. Oprah's business success extends far beyond television. Over the years, she invested in numerous companies and ventures. One of her most widely discussed investments involved health and wellness businesses. Her involvement often generated immediate public attention. Investors understood that Oprah's endorsement could dramatically increase visibility. She also expanded into publishing, digital media production, and lifestyle ventures. Unlike many celebrities who depend primarily on sponsorships, Oprah built systems that generated long-term value. Her approach emphasized ownership rather than short-term promotion. This strategy became one of the foundations of her extraordinary financial success. Oprah's wealth enabled her to acquire some of the most impressive properties in the United States. Over the years, she built a substantial real estate portfolio. Her residences became famous for their beauty, privacy, and scale. Among her best-known properties are luxury estates in places such as Montecito, Hawaii, Colorado. These properties represent more than luxury. They symbolize decades of disciplined business decisions and long-term investment strategies. For Oprah, real estate became another tool for preserving and growing wealth. Throughout her life, Oprah has been remarkably open about personal struggles. One of the most visible involved her health and weight management journey. For decades, audiences watched her discuss challenges many people face themselves. Rather than hiding those experiences, Oprah shared them publicly. She spoke about setbacks. She spoke about discipline. She spoke about self-acceptance. Her honesty resonated with millions. Many viewers appreciated seeing a global icon acknowledge the same challenges ordinary people experience. In later years, Oprah increasingly emphasized wellness, healthy living, and long-term quality of life. Her personal transformation became another chapter in her broader message about growth and resilience. No public figure achieves Oprah's level of influence without facing criticism. Throughout her career, she has occasionally found herself at the center of controversy. Some critics questioned particular guests she platformed. Others debated recommendations she made through her media channels. Certain interviews sparked intense public discussion. Yet despite these controversies, Oprah generally maintained a reputation for credibility and professionalism. What often distinguished her response was a willingness to address criticism directly rather than ignore it. The controversies became part of a larger story. The challenge of managing enormous influence in an increasingly complex media landscape. Today, Oprah's legacy extends far beyond television. She changed the way interviews are conducted. She transformed daytime broadcasting. She inspired countless entrepreneurs. She encouraged millions of readers through book recommendations. She funded educational initiatives that changed lives. She demonstrated that media influence can be combined with business ownership and philanthropy. For many people, Oprah represents the possibility of overcoming difficult beginnings through determination and vision. Her story continues to inspire audiences around the world. As we look beyond 2026, one question remains. What comes next for Oprah Winfrey? The answer may not involve daily television. It may not involve blockbuster business announcements. Instead, Oprah appears increasingly focused on legacy, mentoring future leaders, supporting philanthropic initiatives, investing in meaningful projects, producing impactful content, and ensuring that the institutions she created continue thriving for decades to come. Her influence is now larger than any individual television program, larger than any single company, larger than any one era of media. Oprah Winfrey has become something few public figures ever achieve. A lasting institution. From poverty in Mississippi to global influence, from local broadcasting to a multi-billion-dollar empire, Oprah Winfrey's journey remains one of the most remarkable success stories in modern history. Her friendships endured. Her relationship with Stedman Graham defied expectations. Her businesses reshaped media. Her philanthropy transformed lives. And her influence continues to reach across generations. As 2026 unfolds, Oprah's story is still being written. Not as a television host. Not merely as a billionaire. but as one of the most influential cultural figures the world has ever known. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe to Continent Informer, like this video, share it with friends, and tell us in the comments, what do you think is Oprah Winfrey's greatest achievement? Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next documentary.